Me dream my mind and subconsciously I believe this love for free. I would not give you all my money. Bright star, never late, never too far. Shining your love when it's so dark. When it's so dark. Bright star, never late, never too far. Shining your love when it's so dark. Bad weather can't change you, nah, nah, nah. Imagine a love like mine with an angel. Angel. Just a little time with an angel. Angel, angel. Waited all of my life for an angel. Angel, angel. All of my life for an angel. And you send me an angel. 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 You send me an angel.
Cause when they wind up with me in a mood, so rude, so rude. Girl, I want you take off your shoes, run down the dance floor. Take the jamming, baby. I want you show me your moves, girl, how you back so. Take the jamming, baby. I'm watching you long, 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 long time now. Take the jamming.
No trouble. Well, you know where we is, right? Well, you know, the Dream Talk Live on a Friday. Let me get some people in this bacchanal. We have Sonali Bartholomew, big up at the Bella on the inside. Watagwan, we have Chica coming in. Only, if only didn't taste that food today. Yeah, I lick it for finger today. I don't know, but I have a little structure in my week, fella. I just have a little structure in my week. You know what I mean? But I have to say that this Bartholomew pushing foot in the food. Yeah, boy. Woo. So, you know. And the place in the comment section what you thought about the food. Let's get Chica on the inside. Welcome, welcome, one and all, the two directors of the program. And the place in the comment section what you thought about the food today. We talk about the food first. Chica, give me a few.
Yes. Well, everything tastes nice as usual, Sonali. Everything tastes nice.
What? And I tell the fellas, I know let me take a look at the topic. Let me don't get too wide. The topic for today is the topic.
Well, actually, we start off like our Prime Minister late.
Yeah. All the work just go sometimes. You know, understand. You know, it just go pressure with the traffic and everything going in. So, where's the topic on here?
Well, of course, what would you do if you were Prime Minister?
It's in the comment section right now. Sonali waited for Sonali and some heated comments there with this particular topic. Sonali, you hear it?
I'm behaving. Right now. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, she should be behaving.
Right now.
Right. So,
fighting itis. So I'm behaving.
Yeah, just kicking in here that cheesy potato, boy.
Well, you have to misbehave. When you misbehave, it is stay up, you know. As you misbehave, that just keep you up.
Right, so we're looking at the topic for today. You all place in the comment section. What would you do if you were Prime Minister of said country? I started with the ladies. Chica.
Why? But you always start. Let's start with you today, now.
Take the podium now, boy.
They clearly have a man in the picture. So yeah, let's start with you right here. We start with men today.
I will give my 2 cents.
It's always the ladies.
It will be very
It's always
boring.
the ladies going first.
Yeah. So Sonali or Chica,
that's alright.
place in the comment section, people who are looking at us on YouTube and on Facebook, what would you do if you were the prime minister of your particular country? I know some of them might be president, so prime minister or president.
Boy.
Well,
That's so much things I would do. So much things.
well, let's hear
I
one now.
gonna be honest. Me gonna lie. I'd love too bad. I'm gonna find a way to turn myself into a dictator. Let my words be law. I'm looking for that way of changing things for me to be a dictator. Sorry. Just being a prime minister.
So what are some of the laws you would like to... So what type of laws are you gonna put in place then? Because you want to dictate. So what type of...
And look, for sure, to change in the healthcare system, that's for sure. Certain laws concerning the environment and taking care of the environment, preserving the environment, and so forth for the future. What else? I know for sure, as if I get a way to change to become a dictator, and we can show our military, defense force, civil service, those all protected services in some way, I have full and absolute control over them. That's one for sure. So I'm making sure I find a way to become dictator, and I'm making sure the laws say that I am full commander-in-chief of protected services of my said country.
All right. Any particular reason?
If I control the army, I have control of the country, martial law.
All right.
Once I have control of the army, I have control of the country.
And you're saying if you didn't taste burnt lunch today, you all missed out. Was real good. Yes. I love potatoes and I love fish, so I definitely enjoy that cheesy potato. It was really nice. One thing though, I know for sure that I would like to change is that you see those men who interfere with people, women, girls, boys, and whoever, them who like to rape, I want to have a law where you cut the whole thing off. It might seem cruel by where you cut off. So that is one of the things I want to change. Cut it off. It may not seem like fine, no death penalty or whatever, but I want it cut off.
Nah, I'm not castrating you. Castrating is too easy. Castrating is too easy. You have to make an example out of them. And you're not going up against no firing squad. You could have where publicly stretch them, you drag them through the town or the city, literally. But then, long time it used to be dragged by horseback, but now we have cars and vehicles, so we dragging you. It has jeeps and all of that.
Alright.
It has we pulling you and stretching you out. Castrating will be too easy.
But here now, all who cannot be because Israel dictators in this dance. I hear who chop it off members, I believe in that. Especially for those type of crimes. So if you're now joining us, Jazan, pick up yourself, place in the comment section why you're not here. Why are you in the comment section, Jazan? Anyhow, place in the comment section what would you do if you were prime minister, or in some countries, president of your said country? Yeah. On here. Easy. I listened to already on there. A little Italian. Yeah? Yeah, but I'll be trying ready at the same time. The tickets are available. We'll have to slide that in there.
Oh, yeah, listen, Andy done inside, you know.
Yeah, and he done 3 tickets money, he ain't play. And he had lunch with me today. You know what I mean? So big up Andy Bellardi inside, right? He came and had lunch with his boy. Yeah? Sonali's lunch really was scrumptious. Yeah. I eat it early these days, but I had to do it early these days. Yeah. So Sonali, you planning to be a proper dictator? Pick up everybody on YouTube. Giselle, what's going on with you? You're hiding. Place in the comment section. What would you do if you were Prime Minister? So Sonali, what else would you do? Let's get this show on the rail, man. What else?
Okay, if I have to be Prime Minister, yes, as Parliament and so forth that passes laws and bills, and of course our President's signature must be at the bottom of said document for it to be passed. I'm making sure I put in a president that I could control, and I'm making sure my government, my parliament, have people on both sides that's in my pocket. So when it is already and I say, so why needs to pass us?
So you just against democracy. You don't really want true opposition. You want to just roll over.
Let us be real. No, let us be real. In this Western hemisphere that we are on, is there any democracy?
No, I'm asking you so you want to go and affect change? Let's see what Adi say here.
But I am affecting change.
Read what Adi say here. What Adi say? If I was PM, I would do more for persons with disabilities. Yes, little sister, I agree with you. Cut it off. Yeah. So, So, and you would have focused on, better
but of course I agree, but in order for things, I agree, but Andy, position of power, and you have opposition in your own party and opposite, and there's a struggle to get what it is you want for your best intentions to come forward, So of course, I'm going in with best intentions, but I'm not playing dotish. God never said be foolish.
Right, people under the dictatorship. All you do that only
again. The dictatorship. You're getting to vote. I'm not getting to vote, but democracy in this timing, I believe it's an illusion. I honestly believe. Let us take account of some.
Yeah.
Let us take account of what happened with.
Yeah. But I do agree with Andy. We don't focus on the negative, we focus on the positive. So I do agree that the people with disabilities should, and you cut it off.
There should be a lot more.
Yeah.
There should be a lot more for persons with disability. But like I was telling Chika, cutting off, castrating men, or even mutilating women who interfere with young girls and boys and so forth, that is too easy. Because for some people, they will just be like, okay, so what, I'm still alive. You have to, I believe that you have to make a solid example out of them.
Right now, they're becoming female.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is true.
Right, so Andy is talking about also trying to keep food prices low for the people. So that is something very interesting that is happening around the world. Place in the comment section what you guys think. So the topic for today is, if you were Prime Minister, what would you do? So let's address Andy's question. What would you do if you were Prime Minister concerning the food prices now? So when we come back, Kyle Sonali backstage, we will deal with, what would you do as Prime Minister concerning our rising food prices when we come back?
you move that thing there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I want you move like you move there. Girl, I want you take off your shoes, but don't the dance floor. Take the jamming, baby. I want you show me your moves, girl, how you back so. Take the jamming, baby. I want you get long time now. Take the jamming, baby. And I wanna give you love all night now. Take the jamming, baby. Girl, you bring this on yourself. Look how you stand out in the crowd. I know you smile when our eyes connect.
So what are
The kind of girl that I dream about. With just a little bit of attitude.
we going to try to? Oh, good question. So Natalie, what do you think we could do to keep food price? I think we should grow our own food and look for places that really is for agriculture. Really invest in that.
No.
That way we will be able to
We do have that initiative going on for like years now, where you try to get people to grow their own food, and that land that is specifically for agriculture to be grown upon or tilled and used for agriculture. But the problem that government have been concerning that is that majority of people don't want to be farmers. They don't want that work to put bread on your table, that work to put bread on your table initiative. They don't want to do that. That's one problem government having. And then on top of it too, areas that are strictly for agricultural, they were given up as, I think it's deed of love that you call it. Yeah, deed of love. So people will actually build their homes and stuff on it. So now you have land that is agriculture, you give it as deed of love. You have to come now after you do something like that to tell them, here what, you need to move, or you can't build your house here, you have to find another place to go. Or if not, take the parcel of land that is yours and work it. And most people don't want to do that. Because they're like, I fight so hard to get this land to build a house for myself. For you to come and tell me to move now? It's hard because for Southwest Regional Health Authority, they have a initiative that's going on for the past 5 years now, where from their private garden, they give out seedlings and all of that in the Southwest Regional area. And they try to push for people to have their own home gardens now. But it's hard because most people don't want to do that. And then on top of it too, you're living in a Western hemisphere where the United States, Europe, and all these places have easy access to food and things that are being created and promoted for easy access now. So you have a lot of challenges coming in so many different forms.
Letting people, I mean, the thing about it is some persons truly don't understand the benefit of growing their own food. So sometimes they will go, of course, in the market or to the groceries and complain about the prices, right? Mm-hmm. Or they complain about the quality of the product. It's spoiling too fast because they're using chemicals to increase produce. And even, but we know, of course, to keep up with the pesticides and whatever. So they're not really doing it. It's
and
not
to keep
natural.
To keep up demand. Exactly, just to keep up demand.
Yes. So when it is some persons, when it is they grow your cucumber like homegrown estate, where it is it could last longer, right? After harvesting, people have to, the things are wasting because they pay a lot of money and the amount of chemicals they produce is not lasting as long as it should. Things just spoiling fast on people's hands. So if people understand, and it has some things that we could take from the old time days, right? Some people is like the same bring back the old time days. There are some things that we can take from before, even bartering. One person could grow one particular thing because their land might be able to produce a better quality of cucumbers, or okra, whatever it is, and then somebody else, their land have better, either whether it be long-term crop, short-term, to really mix it. And if it is people really understand the value of growing their own or really local, I think they will say they will appreciate growing a little thing in the backyard. Because when flood comes, we know that the prices of vegetables go up automatically.
Yeah.
It goes up.
So the question, I don't want to derail the topic, but as Prime Minister, so you see, that's the thing. As Prime Minister, the question Andy is asking, what as you, Austin Ali, as Prime Minister, would have done with this to keep food prices low? So yes, we know that we can hold people in ambulance. I have purists, I go hold my thing in my backyard. I just take pride in my thing. You know what I mean? But let me be real now with the reality. I have a pot and little thing in the back and it's a homegrown estate in which I can experiment in whatever I want to grow. But not everybody would have that luxury. So in regard to what I'm saying.
Well, Andy's saying stop importing food and make more lands available for people.
I have no problem with that, but we are not going to plant any.
But as Sonali was saying, it have land available, it's just that some persons are not interested in doing agriculture.
Listen. Farming is not that easy. People think planting is just...
Well, no, it's not. We know it is not easy.
Yeah, it is not. I can't plant to feed a family, no. So that's what you understand. So what can we do to ease the food prices now as Prime Minister? So we have you all in Parliament, where's the Parliament? All in place in the comment section. Right? This is the problem. Prime Minister Chika, Prime Minister Sonali, President Andy Miller. The question now, nobody here planting, so they had to put that in the backwards. Nobody here planting all that. Right? Half of them have no land to plant, they must be renting and they even have a little space for one pot. Right? What are we going to do to ease the food price? Prime Minister and President. No. We ain't talking about when you plant now, that's for later. So if I plant something now, unless I plant not to eat until it grows. So no, we're talking about no. We know the concept, we're talking about no. Yeah, here's the issue. The people have a lot of power in every country. And this is what I have noticed with inflation. What I have noticed is that people rather get a subsidy to put gas in the tank, food in the belly. So my question is, would you, people place in the comment section, would you rather take off a little bit of money off the gas subsidy and put it on a food subsidy? Because if we was crying for the food subsidy for us to eat, and they say, okay, would you all, can we take off some of the subsidy on gas? Would you now pay $2-3 more TT for the gas and we put it on food subsidy? Well, let me know what you think. Please in the comment section. Let me leave on.
Well, yeah, but and the only thing about it is they did reduce, by some of the things that they talk about, but in terms of the prices of food that people use on a regular basis, they would have tried to regularize the prices of those, at least some of those food items.
No.
That's what they had tried to do.
No, you're right on they try to do, as I say, try to do. But the thing about it is the people who import it, because I would say first and foremost, look at what our import bill is. Who are the major merchants that's importing the goods? And honestly, I would say take example from, maybe most people wouldn't agree, but take example from North Korea. Their import bill is not high because what they import are things that are needed for their people, for their sustenance and continued development of their country, despite the fact they might be communist or whatever. But they have a strict policy of what is to be imported, what is surplus for their country. We have mostly about, if it is a group of 20 merchants that import, about 17 of them importing the exact same thing, same quantities, and what they do is they just, okay, you get your goods today, I get my goods tomorrow, so you leave yours at your price, I will raise mine because mine come at a later date or whatever, and that's how it goes. But the thing about it, on top of it too, what really needs to be imported. If it says we do have gas take off on the gas subsidy, yeah, taxi fares and so forth would raise. Most people wouldn't even have a vehicle. They'll say, "Here, what? I can't afford gas anymore." But most people would think a car is more priority than eating because they already know, here, what? Prices gonna raise. At the end of the day, we quarrel for 2-3 days and then we go back to it like normal.
So
We
they
have
will
such
always
unfickle memories.
yeah, they will always be in England, right? They got maybe on the inside, say the lap,
Yeah.
might get in trouble,
Yeah.
right?
And you know
Please,
something?
if it is you were the new Boris, Abby, what would you have done? So we're facing for the panel, for the presidents and prime ministers that are on the line right now. These are the issues we're facing: inflation, rise in food price, and gas. Now, Abby them have a ticklish because they have regular gas, which is for the vehicles, and then they have heating gas. Now they're using natural gas now for heating, and winter is coming. So, president and prime ministers, the question today: if you were president or prime minister, what would you do to ease the burdens of inflation at this point in time?
And you know something too, Sonali, on your point of, in terms of health, right? If it's some of the things that we are importing, it is not good for person's health. It just encouraging unhealthy lifestyles. So if it is, there is a law in place stating that these are the products or items that you cannot import. This is what you can. It could make a whole big difference
or products that carry like a certain percentage on what the molecular construct would be, like how the FDA is have certain importers. You can't have 20 of us importing the same thing and it's not beneficial to our country. If you limit to say, all right, out of the 20, only 3 of you could import this, then the next 3 import something totally different in a different sector and so forth. You could limit your import bill that way. Because you can't encourage all 20 of us importing the same cereals. And it's a whole set of mess.
Yeah.
So, if they could do that, our import bill will be much lower. And then, of course, we understand that how the economy is going right now, things are taking much longer to get to countries and so forth for the customs and whatever. That itself will force people to say, hey, here what? I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. Farmers and them is still taking a while. Let me turn a little soil to see what I could get to ease my wallet constantly opening. And you have to do some drastic measures to force your people to take action. And that's the thing about it, because most governments don't do that. They just make life easier and quicker for people. So they don't have this initiative to be in a fight or flight mode. Because I grew up learning that from my grandfather, they had land and they planted. My great-grandfather, they planted. Despite the fact he was working and bringing home money, he planted to make sure that his wallet then open constantly to make things easier for the family. They might not have been rich, but they had food no matter what on the table.
And he was saying, we need to go back to the earth and that will make a big difference.
I'll be hearing from them with that here. Very nice thing. I like how we talk in this Rema section. So, businesses and corporations in the tax laws incentivize business owners to keep in business because they provide jobs. So that is where you will get a tax. They have a lot of tax incentives for persons who providing jobs and service. So they wouldn't tax the rich because here's the issue. If they tax a big corporation that is employing 100,000 or let's say 1 million people on the planet, and they raise the taxes, they could just outsource their whole labor to China. That will hurt. That will hurt
The economy.
people more than help them. And there's the sad part. We printed a lot of money for COVID and now we pay the price. This is what nobody don't want to confess up with, right? If we did take all the licks we were supposed to take in COVID and let all the bad companies fail and let all the good companies survive, what would happen? It would be very painful, it would be very, very hurtful. But the inflation wouldn't have been that high because we have printed a lot of money for stimulus checks and rental assistance and bailing out companies and providing all these freebies. So now, this is the price we have to pay. It is like this, Granny long time to tell her, it's either you're taking the better medicine or you ain't taking it. If you just want to get better, sometimes it's going to be like a real bitter scenario. That is what the government want. And the sad thing is that it would have to be that way in order for the market to rejuvenate itself. Because here what would happen, right? It's so get harsh. It's a kind of harsh guy. All the companies that was being propped up by the phony money would fail, crash, everybody would not know what. And what would happen is that now nobody can buy the bread. So you know what happened now, Chica? You know what happened now? None of we can buy the bread. So the bread can stay on the shelf. You know what happened to the bread? You go down and drop. Because the merchants would not want the stock to remain on the shelf. That is why I say let the market correct itself. But we not letting the bitter medicine come. Every time it going and crash, we print money and we protect we shield everybody. And that is the problem. Because the more they print is the more it would have inflation. Inflation is a tax on everybody. Inflation is just a hidden tax. Because the money that they borrow, they have to pay it back and we pay it back. So better I take the licks last 2 years ago and catch myself this year than to be getting licks from now till 2027.
Push back, baby. Push back, Tony.
Who said push back? God. Like that. Right? So Chica Sadali, that is what it is. Right? I would say in Trinidad we have it a bit easier because we have some extra money. I'm seeing that it have little hiccups, but I see in all my people partying. So from this when I know Trinidad, there's no money. If it have party, it happen because every weekend is a party. If the party them button, I know we broken. So we are a bit fortunate. There's the oh my God, what is this? We talk live on a Friday. Big up YouTube, big up. You know where it happens here in this piece. Yeah. Don't mean to cut on Yako, but we have done very well on compared to other first world countries when it comes to because most of the people linemen right now on the road hot. People linemen, people have a little extra expendable income in the pocket, even though they just coming out of a pandemic. So and commerce still happening and parties still happening. People still buying clothes and food and rum and top-ups. So we know
let it top-ups happen. Let it top-ups happen.
So that is what it is. But it's still, if people would have said, hey, we want a subsidy on food, we could have still gotten it if we would have said, all right, less subsidy on the gas. So it's not a matter with Trini and cooking, we eating, we buying food and cooking. So it's not a food thing. I am not seeing it as a food thing. It's more a processed food thing. Let me say you go and you buy your chicken and your vegetables and stuff. It's basically the $2 extra, maybe a pound, $1 a pound. Or for the vegetables, you could go and haggle in the market. So if the sweet pepper is this amount of pound, you can walk lower down and beat and go get it for $2 less. So if it's like whole foods you're eating, it's not egg is $1.50 extra. So it's not that bad. To be honest. Now if you're going the processed food route, the grains and the whatever, your pocket going undone. Man like me, I do whole food, so it's about me. I don't complain about the chicken or the lamb or the beef or the veg or the shrimp. It's not if you're eating whole foods, inflation is really doing you nothing. You gotta be real under pressure. If you're going the processed food route, you have to mind your Welch's and your cornflakes and your grains and your whole wheat bread and your
Granola and the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That is where your pocket go behind. I'll be placed in the comment section. What are some of the things you might ban as Prime Minister or President? Chika, Senali, or Leon Flow? Things you will ban as Prime Minister.
Who would let me behave is a good day. But I really was gonna say stupidity. Like what if I was banning stupidity? Because it's have a lot of them, but that's to come up with right how to sit down. That's a list of things that I would ban. People might say I against humanity or whatever, but it have a lot of things I would seriously ban in this country. And it will be in like every sector, from health to social development and rural development, all things, real things. It's like real things. But then again, honestly, people might say, here, what, you're against humanity or you're naive. Because jump high, jump low, with the things that I want to ban, other people will profit and some people will benefit from it. So it's either you cut your nose to spite your face or you just turn a blind eye, really and truly.
And the thing about it is, in terms of banning certain things, okay, so like example, some of the drugs, right? And even guns, some people say let us put a total ban to it, right? We know that it have some allowances to business owners owning firearms and all these things. But the thing about it is, when they talk about, as we say, they are the small fish. They cannot bring any guns because they don't have the money to do so. They cannot bring any drugs. They cannot bring any guns, right? And a lot of right now, like weed they are lacing that with something else. So weed is not just weed. So a lot of people thinking, yeah, I'm taking a little weed, but it's not weed, because when you watch a lot of young people on the streets,
no,
it's a lot of young people just sitting up on the streets and they're just running mad. They're smoking something, wherever the something is, you don't know exactly. So that is and you see negligent parents, it have to have some more strict measures in place for these negligent parents. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of them.
Real? Working among children and so forth, you said no. You automatically know. You just learn off the bat who is a negligent parent. Which parents they're not even so much as negligent, but they're not paying attention. They're just trying to provide, and they're not really taking time to be a guide, a proper guide to the child and so forth. It have some of them.
And it have some, I don't know if some of them even trying to provide. They're just negligent.
No, it has some who flat out don't provide. They don't provide. They just say, here what? Yes. I'll come and I have you. Come and I will be like, yes. What?
I wonder if anybody can guess what I will ban. I think it's good.
What you would ban?
What I will ban.
Yeah, among
Place
the
in the
things you
comment section if
remember.
all you can guess what I will ban. You understand? Andy, never know why you get that
Again,
ban about
yours.
me.
Again, yours is Alice.
Yeah,
Andy,
that would
Yours.
then I
be.
have to ban two things. So I hear Chica was, speaking about, the how they legalize the ganja, and I heard, different scenarios. And I was scrolling through, I do scroll through the New England Journal of Medicine and some of the findings of late. And very disturbingly, me, there's always that has been these kind of scenarios, I don't know why. And they have found that the findings are that non-alcoholic fatty liver is now prominent in children. So it's totally different to what people. Non-alcoholic fatty liver. This was what they see in children below the ages of 12. This was a disease that you would have only found in alcoholics. So it's not alcoholic, but you would find fatty liver disease in alcoholics mostly in the 1970s. And now children under 12 are now being found with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So I'm sure that out. So I don't know why I go back. Yeah? Because you might smoke marijuana with something in it, and hey, we could throw you in therapy, all how we come in. It's how some call interventions. The whole family come, we grab you, we throw you in, hey, you're going. And we make sure we cold turkey here, and you come back out, and then we come out of us. But children under 12 now suffering from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So I would ban sugar and high fructose corn syrup and sucrose. Because you will never give alcohol to your child. So this is the reality with me. Think about your child is suffering from a disease that was found in alcoholics. On that one, would any parent give their child alcohol to drink 12 and under? Even I know the age is 21. But would you give your child alcohol to drink? No. But 12 and under children are now suffering from a disease that was mostly found 100% or 95% in alcoholics. By my 2 cents. But let's continue.
Well, they say sugars is among the list. It's among the list of stuff that would, for me, that will get banned. Not honestly, because they'll say, yes, is that true? They're supposed to have sweet. No. Trying to have to have processed sweets and processed sugar. And long time you used to patch all outside the source of sugar used to be the fruits, whatever guava tree, a tamarind tree, plum, the mango. That's how they used to get the sugar. That accessibility to processed sugar used to be a rare thing. So the fact that now children under 12 have fatty, it's horrible. Because if it is you put brown sugar to just sit down in an airtight container for a long period without stirring it, it actually forms ethanol. That's the thing about it. You will open the sugar and wonder like why they smell like alcohol. Alcohol is because it fermented to the point of becoming ethanol now. If it stayed any longer, you're literally going to have fluid at the bottom and you're going to have pure alcohol after must be a year or 2 years. So the fact that children now constantly having sugar from the time children get up in the morning to the time they go down at night, it's constant pressure and processed sugar. So yeah, that's for sure to be put on a ban. Or if not, like how I said before, one merchant to be the person to import things like that, and have it strictly regulated.
This is
as to what?
The dopamine receptors in your brain behave the same way. Like if I give a child cocaine, it is the same response in the brain. In the same place it goes, the same reward system. But this is the reality. In red wine, all who love red wine, right? So in red wine, it is the bacteria that does the first stage of fermentation. In processed foods, it's we. We process it. We do the process, not bacteria. We. So I don't say that we really do not understand what we do to our children. So I hear Chika talk about negligence. It's better you have no money to get you man. You know what I'm telling you? It's better you don't have no money. Because you get you, I'm minding the child, you get you the money, But what the money buying? That's why I had to go and test the child eye when the child is 11, 12. Yeah? And the downstream effects. And then childhood obesity is now through the roof. Just because of the fatty liver, because of what we're doing. So we're talking about negligence as a parent. We're only talking about economics. Oh, he or she don't spend money or spend time. You're spending money and you're spending time, but you're poisoning the child. That's what you're doing, So long time.
Well, that is being negligent as well.
Long time we don't have treats, right? Like at the end of the week, or the child get in an exam or something, and they get a treat. No, that is part of the lunch kit, part of the day, part of the week. Yeah? So, we really have to look. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. It's like, it's not even there because every time you're going to do something for a child, it is high fructose, corn syrup, high sugar, high. That is what we're giving them, for any reward. For any reward, that's all we do. Hey, look my girl in the backstage. Hey, babe, look at you. Come over here. Get over here.
Like in my weekend.
We coming for the last level, in the floor. So, we get in the floor. We had a little banter. Me, because I got my banter on. So, President Abby, based on current events, I know you all will be having an issue with the heated situation in England at this point. So, what is your advice as president to kind of stem that heated bill? Because I know that is all the scenario. So, give me something. President Abby.
Well, people of the UK, an extension. The electric company needs to cut their prices, and if not, I'm gonna fine them 4 million each, and then give it back to the people. Aye.
4 million each.
4 million of each company, energy company. Yes. Especially in the winter. No doubt about it. Yeah. They have to cut the prices.
I think you might need to raise that fine a bit more, Abby. Because some electrical companies, I'm sure they're gonna say 4 million is a drop in the bucket.
That pocket change.
So, that might be pocket change for some of them, but I understand where it is you're coming from. You find them for the cost, like how they were measured, the output to what the cost will be coming at the end of your bill or whatever. Because I guess you will have a meter that they will constantly read.
Yes.
So
it's not nice.
So based upon the output and how the meter read, it can be considered of people, especially depending. I guess you will use graphical notation as well to figure out who have the good income, like who have a stable income, who will be
but
marginal in certain areas and so forth.
I wouldn't even blame the electric companies.
Why not?
You all, the Europe and Great Britain, from since time immemorial, usually depended on Russian natural gas to heat you all through the winter at the top of your storage, right? So, regardless of what the electric companies want to say, right? The powers that be, you sanction Russia. You didn't take no natural gas. Now think about this act. Russia was still willing to sell and give the gas as normal to keep the price same way, even though all of the sanctioned them. They sell India the crude for cheaper, right? Europe taking the crude for cheaper every day. So my point is that I just saying I ain't part of the cabal. I just saying that whatever happening with the uprisings taking place have nothing to do with the people surviving in winter. So let the natural gas run and pay them for the natural gas and keep the price the same way. Because if you sanction them, that's what jacks up the price. So the people will suffer. Take off the damn sanction. It have nothing to do with the people. The people will suffer. So the electric company, right for doing what they're doing, because you all make it scarce. When it was an abundant flow Nord Stream pipeline, it was normal. Russia didn't even want to remove, not provided the gas anyway. It was the West that decided to sanction.
I agree. So burn Biden and Harris. Yeah.
So it's the West that put the old people under this pressure. It had nothing to do with it because the government at the end of the day had the last say. If the government wanted to make sure that the gas remained the same price, just lift the sanction.
True. That's all they gotta do.
Just lift. You don't need to tax nobody. You don't need to charge the thing. Just take off the sanction and pay what you was paying all the time, and the gas price will regulate back to what it was. That is why other boy jump out and say, not me, I done with this thing. Because at the end of the day, it is the West that making this supply and demand thing what it is. That's me.
Totally agree.
The grain high and all the protein high because they sanction a particular country. You sanction the country that provides 75% of the world natural gas. And then when winter comes, you want to say the company is not a gas company. It's the sanctions that making it bad for the regular average Joe, the average human being in Europe and in the UK, the average taxpayer is them going and get feeling. And then they want to them and tell England brace for recession. They don't tell me, you created the recession and then tell me brace for
Well, that's how it normally go. They create the problem and then
Yeah. So it's not even the companies. It's elected officials and things like that. So I say that we still I have to admit that they deal with this admirably. I don't really give government. When I look at the price, it's just that we like to buy rubbish. So we food can't go be high. But if we go we buy we whole foods that we need to eat, it's not that high. I just be real. I don't know what people are talking about. The children I live in here, right? But when you look at the heat, you see winter is a ticklish thing because of the heating. And that will go through the roof.
It will.
Even in the States, because they decided to reach their own thing. So Chika, I can wrap it up. You didn't even time between there. Abby coming late. Hey, Abby will come in for Chika live. So.
Right, people. So inflation Fridays. You'll have up until midnight. Right? Inflation, nothing. Fridays you buy $100 cup up and you get $10 free. Right? Don't forget the bus ride is coming up on Saturday, 17th of September. So organize yourself, organize your crew, and be done on the inside. You understand? So people, we will see you all at another time, whichever time that is. I promise ladies' night because you know people in and all the ladies is busy these days now. That's hope today.
Boy.
And people be don't worry, things happening. So just look out for the next menu on a Friday. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So people be I don't know if we're nice then tomorrow, no, but you know, just look out for us. You know, we need to be up in your faces over the weekend. Advertising and, you know, talking all kind of things. And it's have a next thing too that we have to discuss. We can discuss it tonight, but it's something worth discussing. Yes. So Andy saying he will buy his 3 crates of eggs and he's good. How much? Anyway. Anyway. So you all have a wonderful night, evening, safe weekend. You know how the weather is, unpredictable. One moment sun blazing hot, next thing again rain falling real hard. It's a real serious downpour with a thunderstorm with it. Yeah. So just be safe. So we just enjoy the music while, you know, we get ready to roll out.
You're lying. Producer.